This exercise. Strengthens the back and improves posture. Salute the sun! Salute the sun!
Music. I didn't know what video game, sports video games to put in the background, so I'm just gonna go with esports and just put Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in the background. That's what I did. What's up, everybody? This is Sports Goofs number 150. That's a lot. It's a lot of episodes. It's a lot. But I'm Francisco, and joined by my good buddies Andrew and Charles here. And yeah, it's been a week. Stuff has happened. Some interesting stuff has gone down. We'll be talking about those things. Andrew, how you doing over the past week?
Not too bad, man. I'm hoping I can pull up the stream on Twitch, but
on Twitch it's getting. I can hear it, but it's like I can't see anything. It's all just like a black image. But on Twitter, we're fine.
I mean, that's why I went on YouTube for it.
Yeah, YouTube. Well, we're not streaming on YouTube no more.
Yeah, because we got
yeah.
Y'all lame.
Yeah, well, our whole thing is not like connected to everything anymore, but the YouTube version will just be the audio version I post later after we're done with this. Yeah. And Andrew, so that's what's going down. And yeah, well, did you say how you were doing? Not bad? You're good?
Yeah, not bad. I'm hoping I can find some way to get into the Andrew verse tonight.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah, well, the Andrew verse is never a constant. It's always it's a spur of the moment type of thing, which kind of the beauty of it. You know, it doesn't wear out its welcome, that's for sure. Charles, how's it going, man?
I suck at this game. It's because I haven't played enough.
Metro?
No. I can't play Metro during this game or during the show. I'm playing WWE.
Okay. 2K 22, 23?
Yeah. I had to take a break from Splatoon because God knows I just can't get enough, as J. Cole said.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we played some last night, and I was working on some things. I was dying a lot, but it's mainly because I've kind of been working on my infiltrating the enemy base, and that's obviously going to be bring a lot of deaths. But yeah, so we're 150. We got stuff to talk about: college football, NFL, baseball's coming down to the wire. Got some important things going down. Pujols on the verge of 700 and Judge on the verge of 60. So he'll try and tie Babe Ruth and Roger Maris and then set a new Yankees record. And, well, a new American League record also, if he does that. And then
But he's not your MVP.
Yeah. And then Sammy Sosa's at 66, and we'll see if he has enough time to get there. So I call this show the Prime Directive because over the last Saturday, me and Andrew went over to one of my alma maters, and alma mater of Charles too, is a FAU, to see his alma mater take on the Owls. So that's what went down. We made basically a day of it, where we grabbed some food, went to Four Rivers finally, Charles. We sent you some photos. And I thought it was fine, but Andrew was trying to get me to compare it to any other barbecue places I've tried. But I've been to Texas. I've had actual, genuine Texas barbecue. And I think it was better.
I mean, true or false, all barbecue restaurants taste absolutely the same.
I mean, there's I don't know.
Ooh,
Just
you would piss off a lot of people with that.
Well, I haven't been to Texas.
well, I mean, it wouldn't just be Texas. You got all kinds of different barbecue regions, right? You got frickin' you got
Tennessee.
KC, yeah. You know the
I'm
South
talking
in
about
general,
the
North
establishments
Carolina.
I've been in Florida.
Yeah, Carolina barbecue as well. Just like Florida, nah. Florida's not. Carne asada. That's hard barbecue down here. But yeah, that's what we went, and I had what I get. Oh yeah, I got the burnt ends. That's what I got. Got me some burnt ends. So
Burnt ends are always good.
Yeah, it was good. Good. I like their hot sauce. Their hot sauce is pretty good. Just the right amount of sweet and spicy, in my opinion. So that's what we had, and then we went to the game, and I enjoyed it. It was a different experience than the NHL games that I went to. It was a good game through the middle of the game, and then I guess the narratives that were supposed to play out played out. UCF was the better team and made it look like they were the better team, and then FAU just had no answer for them at all.
So it's a typical Willie Taggart led team.
Yeah, 16 to 14.
Feel knowing that you paid him money to see him coach.
I don't know.
I thought we're supposed to avoid our abusers in the PTSD world. Like, you've never caught me watching a Jeff Fisher team ever after we fired him.
Was he in the USFL? Wasn't
That too, but remember, he went to
thing?
St. Louis after everything. So that's
Yeah.
I was like, all right, we fired him from Tennessee. I don't want him anymore.
Mhm.
He'd catch a single Rams game.
Yeah, that was a ugly era for the Rams. That's the reason they moved. Essentially, that was the whole plan. That was Stan Kroenke's plan. It was just, let's make a terrible team, force us to move, and then we'll get out. All right. I mean, as far as the show is concerned, we can kind of go both ways. I talked about the experience covering the game.
At some point, speaking of food.
Oh yes, we have our bracket.
The next round.
That's right. We do have a bracket of the baseball food fight, so we shall go from there as well. But I do want to, because we kind of had our loins roiled before we started the show, and I kind of want to keep that energy going because I wanted to do Gottlieb's Goons.
Okay.
Like, it seems appropriate. Because I got a few. Man, there's a bunch this week. For sure, there are a ton this week. I guess a You Go Girl for the Las Vegas Aces, who won the WNBA championship. So that's really all I've got with that. So there you go, You Go Girls. And all right, so let me show off the screen here the Super Smash Bros. If you guys want to bet on whoever the heck is gonna beat Ganondorf or King Dedede versus Jigglypuff, and I forgot what the other one was. Okay, let's see. So Gottlieb's Goons, I wanted to show off. The first one that I wanted to do, because it really was the most appropriate, are the Cleveland Browns and their fans.
That's every week, man. They're just a weekly thing.
Yeah, but they've really brought it on, like, since the whole Deshaun Watson thing. Over the past week, and I guess we'll dip a little bit into the NFL Week 2 coverage, but the Cleveland Browns were up 30-17 with about, a minute and a half? Minute 27, something like that, over the New York Jets. The Jets are awful. They've got Joe Flacco as their quarterback, and the Browns have Jacoby Brissett, so, yeah. But in typical Browns fashion, they found a way to lose that game 31-30.
I think 5 Points Vids said the odds of that were like 1 in a million.
Well, not exactly.
Robert Saleh's collecting receipts, so he's got to do numbers somehow.
I watched the video. It wasn't that exactly, but there was something during the game that would have been 1 in a billion or 1 in a million. But it was 1 in 10,000 really that the Browns would lose that game. So you'd have to play 10,000 games just to see that outcome happen, and it did. and it didn't. It was fantastic. 66-yard pass by Flacco, which was great. And then finally at the end, they were able to get one more, get down the field. They recovered an onside kick. So just the odds of all of these things happening. They recovered an onside kick by the Jets. There was a point in the game where the Browns probably should have kneeled to get the first down, but the guy went up to score, and that made it they put him up to 30 points. And then the kicker for the Browns missed the extra point. So lately, a lot of extra point misses by kickers in both college and the NFL, which is strange. But now, so that's what left the door slightly open for the Jets. But then the 66-yard pass on like 2 plays for the Jets kind of brought them within one score in a very quick fashion, and they got the onside kick. And then Joe Flacco brought back his eliteness for one game and led them down to the field, and they scored, and they won the game right there. Their kicker actually scored the extra point, and that was it. That was it. It was beautiful because Browns fans just deserve it.
They totally deserve it.
The Browns fans deserve it. The Browns owner deserves it. So Browns fans, most recently, I've been just awful with like everything regarding like the whole Deshaun Watson thing. They really don't give a shit. They've been making all kinds of things. You got this guy who posted on Twitter, Browns fans discovering what consent is, which is fantastic. Just all of their looks of despair at the factory of sadness, which is great. But I think one of the most egregious things. And they've had these things. They got Chubb Hub. They've got this guy with his own child holding up these signs, and then these people up here who had a mannequin out in front. I don't really actually want to show it on our show here, but it was a mannequin with a heart on, and basically making fun of on top of a massage table, making fun of the whole situation with Deshaun Watson. They really don't give a shit. And then I think. This couple had 2 matching jerseys that said, I forgot what was it, like Tugger
or something.
Yeah, something like that. So obviously making fun of the whole situation. So Browns fans are goons.
Rubbing and tugging.
Yeah, rubbing and tugging. There you go. That's what it is. And then the Browns owner, while he was walking out of the building. After the Browns lost, he was on the field, and while he was walking off, a water bottle hit him, and he looked up and was all pissy and angry and all that stuff. And the Browns are there was a report out here from the NFL.com. They identified and planned to ban the fan who threw a water bottle that hit Jimmy Haslam, and then a fantastic tweet by Jen Mack here on Twitter. Jimmy Haslam is a walking garbage can, and this fan was just trying to throw away his trash. I see nothing wrong with it. So, the Browns have made it known where their priorities are. And look, a lot of teams in the AFC North don't have any room to talk, right? I mean, the Bengals were, for quite a few years, like, basically full of convicts, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers had a guy just as awful as Deshaun Watson and Ben Roethlisberger as their franchise quarterback for a long, long time, and the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis killed a man. So, yeah. There's no really good actors here in this division, but Joe Burrow is one of us, and he plays Super Smash Brothers, and I think that's probably, I'm on the side of the Bengals on this one, in that division. So that's the AFC North. But yeah, the Browns and their fans, just go fuck yourselves. Okay, so that was one. The other one, which I think will rile some people up, is Brett Favre.
That's not even a goon at that point.
No, it's not. But it's something that, it's kind of like something that we were talking about a little bit, not completely related, but somewhat related, because it's a mix of sports and politics, and and just the man. What a
Convict
fucking
is the
piece
word.
of shit fucking asshole Brett Favre is. Taking money out of the, I think it was called the Needy Families Act Fund. I think that's what they have in Mississippi, who was the poorest state in the United States. And honestly, if they weren't part of the United States, they would probably be a third world country in Mississippi. Honestly, it would be like that. They have no real clean water. There's a lot of really, really poor people of both of all kinds of races as well. It's not, so like it's awful. Like that state is awful, and now we've got a huge scandal that Brett Favre initially denied taking funds while during the pandemic, and he was allegedly, I'll say this shit allegedly was taking money to do speeches that he never actually did. And apparently I think he was getting paid like $1 million a speech, which
Like,
never
who would
happened.
pay to see Brett Favre talk?
He has a
It's not
cameo,
like-
by the way. He has a cameo. If you guys want to actually,
What, so he could send me his penis just like he did the journalist? I'll pass on that.
there's a channel on YouTube, Scott the Waz, who makes a bunch of video game videos, and he did one, and he did pay Brett Favre to make a cameo in it, because according to him, Brett Favre was the cover athlete for the worst version of Madden ever created, which is Madden 09. his allegiances lie with Madden 08. And he did get Vince Young on the show as well to do a cameo, because he's like, yeah, he worships Vince Young for that reason alone. Oh man, Vince Young, sheesh, man, what a fall, man. What a fall, man. He had so much potential. Okay, yeah, Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, look, I mean, no one is saying that Vince Young was just the excellence of execution after you saw him 3 years in, but when you kept getting benched for Kerry Collins just because Jeff Fisher doesn't know how to call offense, and the solution is Kerry Collins.
Yeah.
I got strong. I could give you my feelings on Jeff Fisher. Everybody jokes around when they say, "Oh, it's because he's Mr. like 7 and 9." It is not that at all.
And so Brett Favre did that. Supposedly he was doing this because his daughter plays volleyball at Southern Miss, and
which is his alma mater, by the way.
yes, and they I guess they needed like a new gym or something like that, a new facility. And even though Brett Favre has a ton of money saved up, unless he's wasted it on his painkiller addiction.
I don't know, man.
It's all the copper sleeve stuff that he advertises for.
Don't forget those. Don't forget those Wrangler commercials.
Oh my god, yeah. So like Brett Favre could have just donated the money himself and just called the place the Brett Favre Auditorium or gym, whatever they call it over there. But no athletic center. But no. He had to swindle the state of Mississippi, along with a bunch of other politicians and Ted DiBiase, right, Charles, the $1 Million Man? So it's all connected. Wrestling is connected to everything, like Charles always says.
It really is.
What is he? He's like a priest, or no? He's not a priest, but like a.
He was a minister.
Yeah, a minister. There you go, evangelical minister, whatever. And so it's all of these people are just taking money from the coffers of Mississippi, which is a very small amount of coffers, but for them, yeah, a lot of money that none of those people needed. And maybe the governor of Mississippi is in on this too, which is, it's going to be fun. This is going to be a fun thing, but there's a lot of things going on in the sports world. Shannon Sharp went off on Brett Favre, and boy, did Shannon Sharp go off on Brett Favre. And that's probably some hate that was like reaffirmed for Shannon Sharp from back when they used to play, because the Broncos, and they did meet up in the Super Bowl, so the Broncos and the Packers. So I'm sure Shannon Sharp has had some personal bias, but man, this is just confirming all of his beliefs on Brett Favre. And whoo boy, this is beyond goon. What can we call someone that's beyond a goon?
Convict.
Huh?
A convict.
Ooh, the Aaron Hernandez.
That's the murder special.
I don't know. I have no idea. We need a designation for people like this that go beyond.
So something goes with criminal.
Yeah. We need some alliteration.
How
Right?
about Favre fuckery?
No, because fuckery
It's
makes it
too on the
seem
nose,
like he
right?
was just doing it for.
Even though he did fuckery
mistake.
when he was with the Jets and sending those text messages. The
Like, by no means is any of this a mistake, and we're not going to.
Favre felons.
Favre's felons.
Yeah, there we go.
Favre's felons, so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't screw it. Favre's felons. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Favre's felons. Yeah, there we go.
Favre's favorites.
Favre's felons, or Favre, but we spell it Farve. So
Okay, let's do that.
yeah,
Favre.
Favre's felons, because supposedly all this is alleged for now, even though there's text messages of. Man, that man does not know how to encrypt. He needs two-factor authentication. That's what he needs to do.
He needs to listen. His lawyer.
You know what? If Favre had a non-sponsor, it should be WhatsApp.
Or he needs a VPN, NordVPN or something like that. Oh man. Not a godly goon. Favre has ascended to be a Favre's felon. He's created
Favre's
his own
felon.
category.
I like it.
Oh man, so that was the other one.
Do you think John Madden is just screaming in heaven? No, don't say that. I think.
Nah, man, man's just enjoying his turduckins. That's all he's doing, and some tough acting after that. Oh, okay. Those are the two that I had.
Flip stuff too.
Those are the two that I had. Two big ones, but just ones that I was just like, there's probably another one that I'm just forgetting now, but it's I might as well just put Zack Hample. It's a smaller one, but it kind of alleviates.
Someone, for life of me, tell me who he is, because I asked you guys.
I thought we showed you. Didn't me and Andrew show it to you?
And I'm seeing all this here with Aaron Judge. I'm like, I just need someone to tell me. And
All
I'll
right,
figure it out myself.
Andrew, can we go into like the Andrewverse for this?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's do it.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Charles sounds like he went far away, but
No, I'm here.
oh, okay. Yeah, we're good.
I was full screening the yay, the quotes on there.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Charles, for that coming up with that one.
Being ignorant.
It's crazy how he knows this stuff.
Oh, that one, yes.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Although the idiot one was also pretty good too.
So yeah.
Zack Hample, aka, I think he deserves like a permanent spot in Gottlieb's Goons. if I'm
Yeah,
being
most
honest.
likely at this point. He's one of
So he is renowned for being a dude that tries to catch as many baseballs as he can.
apparently his dad was like an author or something like that. Or
I
a
think
scientist?
I think Hample claims to have 10,000 baseballs.
Yeah,
Which-
so probably more than that.
No person on this planet needs that many baseballs.
No.
So
I'm click on his Twitter account, by the way. He's the one.
So
He
anyway,
caught A-Rod's 3,000th hit, which was a home run.
and he sprints into the ballpark whenever batting practice happens so he can catch all the balls. He's notorious for taking balls from children.
He wears the hats of, like, he brings like shirts and hats for both teams that are playing, so that he can trick the players into giving him a ball.
And he also said once that he knows how to say, "Can I have a ball, please?" in like 30 languages.
Does he at least sell these balls?
No, he keeps them.
He
So
keeps them.
He's the goddamn tooth fairy of baseballs.
In a sense, yes. Well, except he doesn't pay money.
I mean, look, I'll respect that hustle. I just think it's very like I want baseballs. He knows he could just go and buy them at Walmart, right? It's okay.
No, he needs to specifically ruin other people's experiences.
And
See,
case in point, this is my personal favorite. Back in, I want to say 2016, MLB held a game at Fort Bragg.
The Marlins and the Braves.
It was Marlins and Braves. I am not surprised that you would know that because it has the Marlins. So the game was supposed to be restricted to members of the military and their families. So Mr. Hample here got on to created a profile on Tinder and said, "Hey, anyone wanna go to the any women in the armed force in the military want to go to the Fort Bragg game? I'll pay you." I think he said like $300.
Whatever amount it was, yeah, but
whatever amount it was. So he got in. I don't think the Tinder thing worked, but I think ultimately he somehow got his way in. I think it was he knew somebody who had a ticket but then couldn't go, so then he got that ticket. And he got the balls were specially marked for that game. And he got one. And of course, being the clout-seeking asshole he is, posted on social media saying, "Hey, look what I got." And immediately, everyone's like, "Dude, you asshole."
especially military members and veterans.
So
he said, "Okay, fine. I'm sorry." I don't think he actually donated the ball. I think he just, or did, I forget what he did with the ball. Did he?
I have no freaking clue. But it honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's just
yeah. He deserves, like I said earlier, he deserves to be in the Gottlieb Goon Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So what kind of precipitated all this? I forget if we discussed this, but a few weeks ago,
I think we were off. It was during the off season, so we didn't really talk about it on the show.
Hample posted a video on Twitter of an interaction he had.
A hissy fit. It was on Twitter and YouTube, by the way. He posted it on YouTube.
So he posted a video of an interaction he had with an usher at a Colorado Rockies game named John, and I guess security or possibly police. They were telling him that he couldn't leave his seat to go get baseballs. Now, bear in mind, the area he was standing in was the accessibility row, so the row for people in scooters and wheelchairs. Luckily, there weren't that many people in the row. Otherwise, he easily could have knocked someone over. So he's like, "So you're telling me," he's putting on a whole victim complex drama. It's like, "Oh, so you're telling me that I can't go and get a baseball and something." And he's like, and this was the chef's kiss, pièce de résistance. When he was talking to the security officer, and the officer was leaving, he said, basically, "This is a terrible fan experience." And I quote this, "Big L."
What are you, 5?
Yeah. He literally wrote that out and said it.
He said it. He said, "Big L."
This is kind of why I hate social media to a degree, because fake tough people. Tough people.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, that was just the latest thing, and he's firing back. He's like, "Brr, brr, brr, brr," fuck the haters type of deal. There was, I forget
he
which
keeps
player.
he keeps defending himself by saying, "Oh, like pretty much like half the balls that I have, I donate to like kids and charity and all this other stuff." But like, there's not much extensive instances of that, and people have witnessed him like knocking over kids and doing this stuff, and a lot of people make the other argument like, well, you're catching the ball and you're getting rid of that experience of catching the ball and giving it to a kid.
That's the whole freaking point. I mean,
like, you like to catch your own ball.
Baseball is great and all, but you can buy one in the store.
And look, I've never caught a foul ball at a baseball game. I've never caught one, but like I'm at an age where like after a bunch of stuff happened, like I really don't need to keep a baseball, unless it's worth something, in which case, like everybody who's trying to catch number 60 for Judge and 61 and 62 and 700 for Pools, like, every man for themselves, if that's the case. But like, aside from anything historical, like, I mean, I really don't need to keep it. Just grab the ball, take some pictures for your Instagram, and then if there's a kid nearby, just give it to him. I don't need a baseball, right? But like this guy, and you know what prompted me for this is we got the other side of the story today.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to mention it or
I guess we are in the Andrewverse, so.
Yeah. And, I've got like on Twitter here. I don't know if you can see on the screen there. There's an image of when Anakin was about to kill those young Jedi kids.
The younglings.
Yes, he's getting ready to catch Sour Pools on another home run. Supposedly that's where he's going to be. He's not going to Yankee Stadium to get Judges. But even though, Pujols could hit 700, he could go try and get to Yankees games when Judge is like on the verge of like 62 or something. Maybe he'll go for those. But I'm assuming New York fans are probably not going to let him have it if that's the case. Because apparently Yankees fans are on watch right now.
New Yorkers will unite if they hate somebody.
Oh, no. He's already got... He already got A-Rod's 3,000, so I don't think they're going to let him get Judges. Yankees fans have a love-hate relationship with A-Rod. Nobody hates Aaron Judge, except Yankees management.
Thank you. You can say his name, Brian Cashman.
Brian Cashman. So, yeah. All right, Andrew, go ahead. Sorry about that.
It's all right. So, someone went to a Rockies game either today or yesterday, I don't know, and it was just posted either yesterday or today.
Oh my God. Of course this man has a response for that too. Anyways.
Someone who was at the Rockies game saw John the Usher and asked him, hey, would you mind telling me your side of the story? And filmed him, and there's the tweet up there. It's like a 45 second long video. And John tells his side of the story. He said that, prior to the game, he was still standing in the accessible area during batting practice. He was knocking people over to get get balls, and one kid, I think it was a kid, asked a player for a ball. The player threw it to the kid. The kid missed it. It bounced off his glove and fell on the floor. And Hample picked it up. And John the Usher was like, why'd you do that? And Hample was like, he dropped it, so it's mine.
What?
And didn't give it to the fucking kid.
And didn't give it to the kid.
I don't want to advocate violence here. I don't. But that parent, you can just cold clock a mofo. It's okay.
Like, a lot of people are jokingly, to some extent, one person actually said, listen, if someone is willing to punch Hample and get you and yourself ejected, I will love you forever. And
honestly, there should be a standing GoFundMe by like all Major League fans to cover any court costs for defense. Because I mentioned earlier, I think his dad, he's from a rich family. He's from well-to-do. All right, that's the only reason why he's able to
tell you how rich he is.
Yeah.
He boasts that he goes to over 100 baseball games a season.
Yeah. It's this obsession. It's it's daddy never hugging him enough. I have no idea, but he does this.
I mean,
And
serial killers do the same thing. Just saying.
He's got some sort of obsessive compulsion to grab baseballs. It's a hoarder's mentality as well. And like now that that's come out, he's of course had his own video. He's trying to show off the evidence. This is the only baseball I picked up on August 11th. He's got a video there.
But if you have to explain yourself, and I know this sounds very controversial coming from lawyers, but if you have to explain yourself, you did something. But
yeah, and of course he's got a legion of fans that say, oh well, it's fair game or whatever. But yeah, but now I think people are we're finally starting to catch on what's going down, and yeah, it's I mean honestly, I don't know what it would take for a major league team to just be like, no more, you can't come here no more. But it might have to do, like, a player would have to call him out. He'd have to be so egregious that a player like Marcus Stroman hates him. Marcus Stroman has called him out on numerous occasions, which makes him like instantly likable as a pitcher and as a player. And I'm hoping more players will eventually catch on. And maybe like he's just, I don't know if this is kind of like a Streisand effect in a way. He's making himself more well known that he's like fans are starting to notice, and maybe I think some fans are like, I'll intentionally box him out. Even if I don't get the ball myself, just so he doesn't get it, which is a high level of petty for sure. Like I'd rather he be sad than anybody than he be happy. So instead of me being happy as well. And also, by the way, on YouTube he took down that pissy video, the hissy fit video. So he's trying to defend himself when you took down the video when you first said this. So yeah. Oh man, but yeah, that was more of a not as horrendous goon, but still a bad goon. Okay, we're at 38 minutes, guys. Where do y'all want to go from here? I mean, I don't think is it. Do you want to talk about college football, or do you want to maybe go down the baseball thing again with the food, or do you want me to do the surprise thing that I wanted to do?
I say let's do food because I think they'll cap out the 30, and then we can go Andrew and his college stuff. Because I mean, other sports. I mean, what do you need to know? Football. Charles hates things.
Yeah, preseason hockey is about to. We're right now. It's just like rookie development camps and tournament camps and things like that in NHL. So none of the actual players are there. There's no media day just yet. So we're still not there for hockey, and NBA same thing. So we're not there for those. And yeah, Roger Federer retired. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know he was that young. I thought he was way older.
I mean, in tennis, those guys start when they're like 16.
I'm not saying he hasn't been around long enough.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is just that Roger Federer has looked like mid-40s the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he has, and I mean,
Serena
arguably the greatest male tennis player of all time. So
he's Rafa. I would like a word with you.
I don't know. No, Federer's got like all the records. Rafa's great on that dirt clay in the French Open, but
clay.
Yeah.
I would argue. I know that Rafa and Djokovic are competing for GOAT status for men, but I would argue that that Federer is better because he was much more well-rounded in terms of what surfaces he could play on.
Yeah.
Not saying that Rafa isn't a great player. He is, but he had an unbelievable strength when it comes to clay.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them are Andre Agassi, who was like hyped up on heroin or cocaine in his game. Or Angel Dust, right? That was the controversy.
Yeah, he was on some sort of drugs, and then you got Pete Sampras. who was like before GOAT, I guess you would say. And and then of course Jared Allen has made everybody know that Mario is the greatest athlete of our generation. So, and he was in a tennis commercial with Rafa. So that was the thing.
He's acknowledged by the greatest Italian plumber out there.
Yeah. What else from other sports? Nothing more. Soccer. I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea. Okay. Let's go to the MLB food fight. There was a power ranking that came out. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, but I sent that to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you sent it to me.
Here's going to be the problem, because the Twitch stream is a little bit delayed by being indefinitely delayed every time. So you're going to have to maybe Andrew wants.
I can send you the raw feed.
Yeah, send me the raw feed, because if not, I want to hear Andrew
on the Facebook Messenger.
You're going to have to.
Me and Andrew did that for the for our baseball freaking hunting weird fields thing. So
all right, because you're gonna have to be. If not, you have to be very seductive in these foods, because I was having a good time on just the peanut butter one, which disrespect everywhere. This used to be a society, okay?
We live in a society. So I'm doing this now on the fly. This is not going to go great live, but I'll try. If I'm too lazy, I probably won't cut this out. But if in any case, I'm trying to set up the video here. If you guys can see it, I have no idea if this is going to work. Or if because we're on a conference, maybe it won't work. I'm not sure. It should work. But if not, I might have to close it out. And I don't know what's going on with my freaking computer. It might be the internet connection.
If anything, I'll just Google it.
If anything, just look on the thing for now. Okay, so I'm trying to find the reply that I had to that power ranking that was there, because we're gonna dissect it real quick and then we'll move on. Because let's see, I think there it is. I found it. So this is Major League Baseball. They posted a power ranking here. Remember, we went through the first round of it. For them, whoever made this list, number 1 is the Philly cheesesteak.
Unoriginal. Disgusting.
It must have been a Phillies fan. I can't fathom how that could
be. Whose favorite sexual position is missionary. We talked about it last time. We acknowledged that a Philly cheesesteak is good, but you're paying money to a ballpark just to give me something that I could probably just buy on the street? Yeah, it's anything you can buy at any sub shop, to be honest. At Subways if you wanted to.
Yeah. Then they had the ultimate bratwurst from the Brewers as number 2, and then the and then you can see it on the image on the screen there. That's the ultimate bratwurst. And then you got, which was paired up against Cracker Jack, so it was basically like a default, okay, it moves on to the next round thing, which is kind of dumb. And then you had the Skyline Chili Conies that they had for the Reds, and then the Braves World Champions Burger, which had all the kinds of meat on it, lobster and chicken and beef and all kinds of stuff on it. And then the Yankees steak sandwich, which Charles lambasted, is at number 5. And the Red Sox lobster roll, which we didn't pick, is at number 6. The first actual good one that we did pick, the Orioles, their barbecue sandwich, which was paired up against the Yankees, was at 7. Then the chicken bucket from the Mets, which Charles said that if anybody other than an Asian person is making that, shouldn't be doing it because it was General Tso's sauce on it. And then the Mariners with the quesadilla remember the Mariners were making Latino food in Seattle, and then we were just ooh, that does not sound right. And then finally the borracho brisket fries for the Padres was number 10.
Did we give that the win or no?
I have to look. That's what I'm trying to load up is that because
I know I liked it, but I think it had some steep competition.
Yeah.
But I don't think it won, because the first thing I remember hearing Baracho, I'm alcohol? And that wasn't the case.
No. Okay, so let me find that. Sorry, I'm still on the Andrew's thing. Let me go back to this. Okay. And my freaking camera thing's not working. I'm not sure why. It's taking forever on the screen here. I think it's just Facebook. I think they're just being slow. So, all right. Well, you guys are just gonna have to look on the Twitch or the Twitter. So that's fine. We'll just try and figure that out. So, let me try and close out this. I'm trying to reset it. Man, this thing used to just reset for me. I don't know why it's not doing that.
And nothing on the one that had the peanut butter cup, huh? Where they thought that was just too much going on.
I don't know why. I mean, they didn't choose
Like
it at all in the top
Colorado?
10. The Rockies was like that big like milkshake or whatever that they had.
Oh yeah. The thing that was like so much.
Which
I'm trying
is
to figure out who that
on
was.
my radar. But the Kansas City Royals was the pieces, the Reese's
Oh, okay.
Pieces one, whatever.
Yeah.
Or,
I trust Missouri.
Yeah. So, MLB food fight. There it is. That's what I was looking for. And I don't think our things are saved. Or no, they're not. Sorry. But we did pick. I think we picked. Oh, they are saved. Cool. Well, thank you. All right. So we picked okay. We did pick the fries for the Padres. So like 2 of the things that we chose made it on that top 10.
Ridiculous.
All right. So yeah. So it did save it. So that's cool. We can pick up right where we left off. We're at 47 minutes, so let's go. So we got the the Minnesota Twins versus the Oakland A's. The Red Cow Burger, which was this with Angus beef, 40% bacon inside of it too, patty smashed on the flat top grill, caramelized crust, aged cheddar, candied bacon, beer mustard, and served on a toasted bun with potato chips. So there you go. So that's
All right, what's this thing called?
the Red Cow 60/40 burger.
All right, because I have to Google it out because they're working Red Cow
60/40 burger. Yeah. Or if you just search MLB food fight, you'll see like the photos of it.
Oh, okay, hold on.
MLB food.
Bear with me.
All
right. So who made this one? Was this Oakland?
That was Minnesota.
Minnesota. All right, let's take a peek at this, kids.
Andrew, do you see it?
Yep.
All right, cool. I don't know why this is not working, man.
This is round 2?
Yeah, we're on round 2.
All right, minute. Oh, that looks good.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. That's
Yeah, that's one.
That's attractive to me.
All right, and then it's paired up against the A's. Dared to pair flaming hot cheesesteak. This is why they had cheesesteak versus cheesesteak.
I'm sorry, what?
So this was the thinly sliced beef with onions topped with cheese sauce and flaming hot Cheetos on a hoagie roll.
Didn't I give this one, or wasn't there another one similar to it?
It was paired up against the Phillies regular.
Oh, we're
cheesesteak.
doing our own brackets.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Ooh, man.
So this is Oakland.
Man, this is hard.
Well, I have my answer already.
I picked mine already, but that's because just the way Philly cheesesteaks are made. They're always paired with onions, and I just can't stand it.
I mean, but the fact that you're including the Cheetos on there, and there's a sound clip somewhere
Cheese
of me
sauce.
saying,
Yeah.
there's a sound clip of me going, the Cheeto. If you ever want to listen to our old archives, follow us on the Twitter, Charles the True, Dan Frijoles, at JOJR, and all that other Anchor podcast stuff. All right. Made with 60% Angus certified beef. Patty is smashed on the flat top grill. Wisconsin. There's bacon too. Man. And you get potato chips. And it's the crinkle kind. I'll give it the burger. Shit. That was hard.
All right.
That was uncomfortable.
I was gonna go with the burger just because, if I can get that without the onions, I might just get it for the novelty.
It's also because the meat itself looks grand, and that's why
true.
I was like, oof. On both meats. Listen,
Yeah.
both y'all did fine. Minnie and Oakland, you guys did fine.
Yeah.
I'm liking.
So all right, so Minnesota moves on to the next round. Let's see. Pick it, Minnesota. Okay. Next is San Diego versus Chicago. So the borracho fries, golden fries with juicy smoked brisket, which is I think what sent Andrew over. Smothered with Grand Ole Barbecue signature queso and topped with a Frito relish, which is what turned you off. I think, Charles.
Yeah, no, I think you hated it because you. Oh yeah, relish.
You hate relish. I like.
What the hell is relish anyway? Right? You know, if you don't know what it is, come on.
It's pickles, man. It's just a bunch of pickles and
pickles are nasty.
Okay. Then it's the White Sox, and they beat out the Marlins with the Cuban sandwich.
Oh, well, this feels a little one-sided.
Yeah, mojo, marinated pork, all that other stuff. So, what do you guys got? So, Cuban sandwich, Chicago versus the fries for San Diego.
I'm gonna give it to the fries just because the Cuban sandwich. You know, I remember that being a grown-infested kind of comments that we were making.
It goes down similar. Everybody can get me a Cuban. I will pick at the relish.
Yeah.
I will respectfully pick at the relish.
Okay. Andrew, how about you? Cuban sandwich. Mojo marinated pork, sliced ham, Swiss cheese, sliced dill pickle.
Can you show me the fries again?
The fries, San Diego, borracho fries, smoked brisket, Grand Ole Barbecue's signature queso, and with a Frito relish.
And remind me what...
So it's fried relish, actually. It's not Fritos in the relish, which would be... But
I gotta go with the fries, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fries too. I've had Cuban sandwiches. Right, the White Sox one looks better than what the Marlins had, but looks like nothing that I can't.
Still a damn shame.
Yeah. Okay. Next is the Astros the Crawford Dog, which was 2 Angus beef hot dogs split with the way that
one.
Yeah, that's the one that's split down the middle. Grilled on a potato bun topped with Crawford Bach bacon onion jam and yellow mustard.
And you hate it because of the onion jam.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't see it. I can't see it. That probably be some kind of flavor.
And what did we go against? Oh, the Reese's sandwich.
That's Houston versus Kansas City's Reese's sandwich with peanut butter cups, pulled pork,
why are you even doing
bacon.
this? I already know.
All right.
You know who wins this?
I already picked the Royals just by default.
And the Crawford Dog look good too. I'm not even gonna front.
No, that's fine. I'll take off that jam and I'll F with that. That's for sure. Andrew. I mean, at this point, we know KC's already moved on, but what are your preferences regardless?
I mean, again, for me, it comes down to, you remember, it's the...
You just can't see Reese's on a sandwich?
Yeah, that's my problem, man. That's my problem is, you know... Will it taste good or will it taste like shit? I don't know.
If anything, it would have a taste if the heat melts it.
I mean, it's kind of, for me, it's just like it's sweet on sweet on sweet because it's already got the bacon, it's already got the barbecue sauce, which is already sweet. So you're just getting 2 different flavors of sweet, and it's like, are you would the And I think probably the big contrast would be the peanut flavor, like,
and the other problem,
turn you off, you know.
And the other, well, I'm choosing this without noting of like that I don't eat pork. I'm just.
Let's just say it's a pulled chicken one. Let's just say it's a pulled chicken.
Well, I've had pork before.
Okay.
It's not like I've never had it. I've had it. It's just I try to limit my ingestion of. My intake of pork if I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kansas City barbecue though. All right, Kansas City.
KC. All right, it's a sweep. Next is the loaded barbecue baked potato from the Dodgers. Colossal potato loaded with butter, smoked barbecue burnt ends, cheddar cheese, barbecue sauce, crispy onions, and barbecue crema. Yeah, just take off those onions for me, and it looks fantastic.
I think my logic was, what's the point of a baked potato if I could just have mashed potato?
Yeah, that was your argument there.
Flawless argument.
Then the Rockies is the Elvis Shake. Elvis Shake features creme de banana, soft serve ice cream, peanut butter sauce, Cracker Jack, and candied bacon.
All right. What was the first one again?
The potatoes from the Dodgers.
And that's going against. I mean,
it's a baked potato versus a milkshake.
I have never gone and been like, I want a milkshake anywhere I go.
Really?
Because it's weird.
And Johnny Rockets, and we're just like, hey.
Never been there.
Really? Oh, I was one in the freaking Dolphin Mall.
Yeah, I never went to that one. But I mean, but when I'm talking about a full thing, because chances are I'm probably going to be hungry in the middle of the day. Versus, I mean, to be fair, this is something that you want both of, and I don't think you go back. I think the candy bacon kind of ruins it a little bit for me in my shake because I understand the salt, but I also understand I can pull it out and eat it too. That's not suggestive as all in statements. I don't really care for Cracker Jacks. I understand that's sacrilegious, but they hurt my teeth a little bit. They're not like Milk Dud level of like, don't see the point. But I also, all right, so hear me out. Now we're going to hit another level of concept for these things, and this is the question. What's my bathroom viability? And I feel that if I have a baked potato of that effect, I'm probably going to shit myself. It's a lot
of flavors mixed in.
Yeah, and baseball's a 3-hour game. And here's the thing: I don't get food in the middle. I always get it at the beginning. I eat it like right when I get there, man. Like seriously. So I got to play it. And now let's say, Charles, you don't think you would get the poops from the shakes? Maybe not. But I have had all those ingredients before in my body. So it is not. It is not those things. Like I've had bananas and soft serve ice cream, and peanut butter sauce, and Cracker Jacks and candy bacon.
I could see because you've got pork, you've got with the Dodgers one, you've got pork, you've got butter, and you've got cheese and crema. So you got pork and dairies that can really mess you up, and you're hoping the potato will absorb them enough for you to handle it.
Right. Have you guys ever, not to get candid, but if we had a Twitter poll, this is the poll that you asked, have you ever had to just go number 2 in a sports setting? It is the most uncomfortable. When I took Antonio to the minor league game, there was a guy just whistling Dixie out of his asshole, and I felt so uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable because, it was just everything. So I don't know if that's just me or y'all on anything. So I'm pretty self-conscious about that. You don't want that to be you talk about Zack Hample. Well, what if Charles Trujillo has that, barbecue loaded potato and I'm going to ruin somebody else's experience?
Just think of the children.
Think of the children. So I am going to go with, for all intents and purposes, and the abundance of factoring in this new equation, because yes, I do believe I could handle the peanut butter burger without a doubt. If not, I will force my. There's some like I understand people are lactose intolerant. Like, have you ever had cheese? I'm like, I understand, bro. I get you. I don't know how we went on this very long diatribe, but the answer
sports show, everybody.
Yeah, the answer. Well, everybody poops. It's the unity. So the answer I would say is we'll go with the Elvis Shake.
Okay, I'm going with the shake. Just I'm going to Colorado. I'm gonna try and get it. So, yeah. How about you, Andrew?
Well, I'm obviously overruled here, but I personally would go with the first one.
Potato.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looks good. It looks good. It looks really good.
It's not even a potato. It's really
You'd have to buy a private suite just so you could eat that and assure that you'll have a bathroom.
Yeah, because here's the other thing you have to function. How far are you from the places you need to be at to go to the bathroom? What if
let me add this as well, gentlemen. I don't really, if I'm going to the ballpark, I'm going for. I mean, of course, I'll end up getting the ice cream in the helmet, of course, but I'm not going to a ballpark to get a milkshake. I'm going to the ballpark to get some good food.
I don't disagree with the logic.
Yeah.
But I'm going on a versus mode right here.
Yeah.
You have that YOLO life. I'm proud of you. I think of the children.
Next is the Crazy Crab sandwich from San Francisco, which is Dungeness. I don't know what that means. Dungeness crab.
It's a type of crab.
Okay. Piled between 2 slices of buttery grilled sourdough bread. And I mean, I honestly would love to eat that if I could. And then you've got the Anaheim Nashville-style fried chicken sandwich.
Oh, we already know what wins for Charles.
So, spice blend, 48-hour brined pickles, Melissa-produced coleslaw, creamy jalapeno cilantro dressing, and a soft Martin's potato bun. So, there you go. So, Anaheim chicken, fried chicken, Nashville fried chicken versus the Crazy Crab versus San Francisco. So, yeah, it's a World Series rematch.
Unfortunately, again, for me, it's the spicy factor, man.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, believe me, that looks a lot more enticing than
San Francisco.
So, tell you what, I'm going to say...
You have to know your body, bud. I just literally gave a 10-minute speech about I have to think about the children.
Exactly. This is personal preferences.
I'm going to give it to Anaheim with the caveat that I need to build up my resolve.
Well, for your thing, it's more about Pepto-Bismol.
Tough acting to acting.
What I will tell you now is Pepto-Bismol is completely ineffective if you got the Rhea. It is. Like, let's stop acting. Like right now, I'm calling out Pepto-Bismol.
Is that Imodium, maybe? Is that what
yeah. Well, that if it sounds like it's gonna give me cancer, I don't eat it. And that's how I feel about Imodium. I just endure it. Plus, I like being on the toilet. It's okay.
And also, the thing I'm looking at is it says it's a creamy dressing mixed with cilantro. So my guess is it's not going to be as hot as straight jalapeno.
No, Nashville hot can be hot too.
What's that?
Nashville hot can be hot.
Yeah, but I think Nashville hot is. I mean, what was the last Nashville style thing that I had? I think Wendy's had one. Didn't Wendy's have a sandwich like that? Or
Yeah,
Burger King?
but he's not getting like that kind.
Yeah, that's a mainstream. That's a mainstream, and maybe Anaheim's like that too, where it's a mainstream where it's like it has a kick, but it's not like you're not on Hot Ones type of thing.
Because you got to remember, there's a difference between dry rub and then sauce, and some of them are like both in that sense. Yeah. Well, they'll give you like the combo of it all, and you're just like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess out of safety, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to begrudgingly to the what was the other team?
San Francisco, the Crazy Crab.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I had, and this is just me from my personal preference, I would love to have a crab sandwich right now. I absolutely, positively love with sourdough bread. I like sourdough bread. I've read up on sourdough bread. I've read about sourdough bread starter, and I've often thought about maybe I should get a sourdough bread starter and have it passed down through the ages to the family. That's kind of, that was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine actually, right?
Yeah.
So like I've wanted, I love that. It's like the second show in a row we've mentioned Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So
yeah, love it.
But like, man, I would, if there was like a crab substitute like that monkfish or something like that I could have that with some tartar sauce. Oh, I would love that, but I can't have it. So by default, I have to choose Anaheim. So I got Anaheim. Charles, what do you have? Anaheim?
Yeah.
Okay. Anaheim moves on. Okay, next is the Boog's Barbecue Sandwich, the Baltimore Orioles. Pit beef sandwich offered with a selection of sauces, which they don't mention. just a selection,
which concerned me.
and a split top brioche bun. So there you go. So it's a very safe pick, but it was better than what the Yankees had up against, which is like a New York steak.
That gets the top 5.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got the Reuben dog, which is Pittsburgh, corned beef, Thousand Island dressing, Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut on a dog with a lot of snap.
I don't know my answer.
So, I think Andrew chose that one because it's one of the food groups of the tribe.
Sauerkraut.
So yeah.
But in this case, I have to go with its opponent.
Really?
Let me see it again.
So which one? Anna or
Granted, he did
Baltimore
have to go
Pittsburgh?
against another, hot dog. So
Baltimore or Pittsburgh? No, the Pittsburgh one was against wasn't it against the Rays? No, that was the Astros. Never mind.
The Boogs.
Yeah.
Boogs.
Okay. Baltimore. Yeah. So that's the, basically a roast beef sandwich. And nothing wrong with roast beef.
I love roast
not
beef.
gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So that's
Yeah, it's just the sandwich and sauce. That's it. There's nothing exciting about it.
I need to know what's going in this body. I swear to Christ, I know what you guys are going to say about that, but you can't just give me secret sauces.
I think when it says selection, I think it's implying
Can I choose?
that
Yeah.
you get to choose.
Yeah, they'll have they'll have a mild, maybe a hot one, maybe sweet, and like that. When when you go to any sort of
but that even I need declaratives. I need to know how hot you're going to be on a brisket. It's not like brisket's the hottest. Brisket sometimes has to be dry, even good brisket. I need to know, like the Mark Anthony song. Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. I need to know. I'm just gonna go with the brisket, the pit. Even though I don't hate upon second look, I don't hate the hot dog. But you know what the problem is? I look at that hot dog and I can see a whole lot of other cheap hot dogs are out there when you go to certain games.
Okay.
Because if it tastes the same value of what I got on a cheaper pricing, I would be hella annoyed.
I was gonna choose Pittsburgh just from out of difference. I don't eat too much Reuben stuff, but it looked good enough to me at least. But yeah, okay. All right, so Baltimore with that one. Next is Detroit versus Arizona. Brisket mac and cheese pasty. So
that's a sexy thing.
Yeah, flaky crust stuffed with hatch and chili queso mac and cheese with smoked beef brisket. So that's I think it was Detroit. Which it looks good. It looks very, very good. So that's Detroit versus the churro dog from Arizona, which is a dessert.
And I think I hated the churro dog, but I voted for it.
Long John donut glazed top with frozen yogurt. So frozen yogurt it looks like it's got some whipped cream on it too.
You see, all right. So I'm about to go analytical on this. It's too much flavoring that would hit me at one time, and we've gone to places where we have, you go to certain Spanish restaurants, you ask for churros and they'll give you churro and the ice cream, but you're not conditioned to buy it all at the same time. I don't know about you. I don't mesh that all in one shot. I get a little bit of my high-end sugar, then I get my ice cream. Here, now we have a churro with a donut, and we love donuts up in here. A donut and then glazing with frozen yogurt, and frozen yogurt probably just tasting more like a vanilla ice cream, if anything. I think that's too much of a sweet flavoring that hits the mouth, and something's going to offset it.
It'll be overwhelming. Too overwhelming.
Yeah, and then we get this son of a bitch. This basically looks like it's a quesadilla, essentially.
They got weird with it. Yeah.
And then rich flaky crust stuff with hatch, and it's an empanada. Really, that's what it is.
Kind of is.
Yeah, I gotta, because I haven't seen stuff like that.
So it's
I haven't seen queso mac with chili back and the beef.
Yeah, they went unique with it. It's a unique thing. It's like, hey, let's see what happens with this.
I mean, both of them get my respect.
How about you, Andrew? What's your?
Can I see the second one again?
So it's a churro dog. We have yet to go to the churro, whatever the place that you went to, Charles. That's in Doral, or the one you had at the wedding.
Yeah. Sure, I forgot what it was.
Churro
called.
something.
You know, it's not churro world. I feel
No,
like
it was like
that's
Asuka or something like that. It was something in Spanish, I think.
Yeah.
Again, I go to the ballpark for.
I don't think you go wrong with either of these. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
It's one is a main course, and the other one's like a ridiculous dessert.
I mean, again, I go to the ballpark for the main course. That's when I go to a game. I'm not like, yes, I'm looking forward to that ice cream. I'm like,
you don't associate baseball with this level of sweet, like this novelty of sweet.
When I go to the ballpark, I'm looking for that taco helmet or whatever.
Yeah.
So plus, come on, what was it? Brisket with cheese is like you can't
beat queso, man.
Yeah, mac and cheese.
And I know here's the difference between that and then the thing I was concerned about, baked potato. Body can tolerate the chili con queso, if not well. You know, between that and ice cream, you know, we'll see how it advances in other rounds. But yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. Okay, all right. So Detroit, right? I'm gonna go with Detroit. I liked Arizona when it was paired up against a different dessert as well, but it looks like a lot. It feels like it feels like you'd eat like half of it and you just go into diabetic shock afterwards. You know, or you just immediately turn to Wilford Brimley. Not sure. Either way,
Diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes. Okay, so the last bracket here, Texas versus Milwaukee. So the brisket egg rolls, man, I got a lot of brisket here. Tender house smoked brisket, shredded and rolled up in a classic egg roll, wrapped with deep fried Napa cabbage, served with togarashi, seasoned fries, and sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Man, it's looking good.
It looks really good.
That picture makes it seem like it's part of a sandwich, though. So I feel like part of that's a lie.
It's or maybe it's it's got fries on top of it, and I think I don't know what's behind there. I think
it looks like a sandwich.
No, I think that's a baseball glove or something, or maybe it's the meat that's inside of it, and that they're just showing off on the side. Oh no, it's a brisket, but it's not in it. They're just showing that it is made out of brisket inside.
Yeah.
So it's just the way they presented it. It's probably usually like before the season they'll give like the media and like some season ticket holders and stuff, like some sponsors, like a taste testing thing where they test out the food that's going to be made during the season. So that's probably where that came from. And next is the Brewers Johnsonville's bratwurst, specialty sauce powered by blue eggs. And then they have like a whole story here, but whatever. It's got braised apple, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, onions, and brown mustard. And there you go.
So here's a question: is apple sauerkraut not sauerkraut?
Braised apple. I guess they found a way to mix apple into it. So
because that, I like the idea of it for the tang.
Yeah.
I don't think I would want the onions though, because I don't like onions on my hot dog. I already know where you're going with it, but had I not seen what I saw with the egg rolls, because every time I think fried egg rolls in American establishment, I think of like TGI Fridays, and they make good Southwest egg rolls. Yeah. We would go from there, but I don't hate the bratwurst. It's just it didn't sell me on it.
Yeah, I'm going with Texas. I gotta be honest.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. All right. So the Rangers. So those are our picks. All right. Cool. So we'll figure out the next round, then we'll whittle it down to a finalist. And okay, so let's go to a word from our non-sponsors, guys. People, places, things, concepts, what have you that we've been enjoying over the last week. So, guys, what do you think? What do you? Who wants to go first this time around? First. I got something myself, but all right, Charles, you can go.
I'll go first. So I'm 33. I game. I play video games. I do what I gotta do and stuff like that. It's part of the sanity. You can't just work out and go to the gym all the time. It's been a very long time since I played a video game till like 1 a.m. on a work day, assuming there's no court. And yes, he mentioned it last week, but that's on him. Now it's my time. And boy, howdy, have I been addicted to Splatoon 3. It is like the perfect in between. I got time to kill game. It is like the perfect I'm going to go all night and play with my boys game. It is the game that I can listen to the music to, the audiobooks to. That's how I utilize it. Francisco utilizes it to destroy souls and dig some holes.
Yeah.
I utilize it to bring back a memory of light. And Splatoon's always been a game series I enjoyed. And that's how Francisco and I essentially got cool in law school. It got me through my final semester and a half in law school, and then I had to stop the first one after putting in 120 hours in 3 months because the bar exam happened, and I had to, you got to do some stuff. I got to go be a lawyer, right? So I couldn't do Splatoon stuff, and then Splatoon 2 came out. That was like my first major purchase. I bought the job, and I put like 84 hours into that. But Splatoon 2 felt a little off. I think Francisco would agree with me on that one. And I can't explain it. I don't know what it was. I think they took out a little bit of the competition and the competitive nature. They didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. At that point, you couldn't, unless you had the app, you couldn't get going with the kill-death ratio. And I'm not saying it mattered, but it stopped me from being reckless. I wasn't crazy about Clam Blitz for what it is, and they had to do their updates, but it just felt like it was there. It's the return of Jafar of video games. It doesn't, stand out coming into it. Instead of being something that makes you engage. You see,
where's the live action remake of that, Disney?
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. I won't say it's the 40 Thieves because I know exactly what happens in Return of Jafar. I can't recall anything that happened to the third Aladdin movie. Whereas when I played 3, if we're talking about it, I didn't see the live action Aladdin movie. I know people in my life had, and they enjoyed it so much. And I know people did too, and it made a whole lot of money. It just didn't. I don't like Disney just capitalize everything. I can't wait for their downfall. But for me, it's just the game's just so enjoyable that what this is for Splatoon 3 is not a live action remake or a sequel. It's a 4K HDR rendering on my DVD that I could watch on Ramona, essentially. And I have thoroughly enjoyed it. All we've done for 15 hours plus, kids, is play Turf War. We're not going into Anarchy until after he's 35 hours. We're adults. We lawyer. We do things. There's still hope for you kids too to be professionals and to play video games. God, I was just as shocked that I started Metro, buddy. I'll tell you that right now. But I have to sometimes don't have to get the burnout. But we're not even on Anarchy mode yet. That's until after this weekend Splatfest, and that gives up the other hype. There's a Splatfest this weekend. What would you get on the desert? Are you Team Gear, Team Grub, or Team Fun? I think I'm going Team Grub because it's nothing but airness and parchness, and I want some water and juices.
I think I'm only going to be able to play on Sunday, which is when I get back from my trip.
Yeah, and I'm only going to be able to play
maybe Friday, like at night if the hotel's got good enough Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, this don't matter if we were going to go against each other anyway. That's all I'm saying on that one.
Wait, which team are you picking?
I think I'm going Team Food, man.
Okay, I was going to go Grub too.
Oh my God, why? Why? That's what I would need you. Because the Splatfests now have changed, so this allows me to continue. The Splatfests have changed. So now it goes one part of
we're going to be on the same team this time.
God, it's so cold to us if we can't play. We were, Andrew, we were murking them. We were Rodman and Jordan up in this.
I hope people pick Grub because, man, that'll be like, I want to try the tri-battle from a defensive standpoint.
Who has fun in the desert? Jesus only went there for penance, man, not to play volleyball. And then
Andrew has no idea what we're talking about.
I have no clue at all.
Which is fun. And I can understand the whole idea of getting gear. But, the whole thing is I need food because you're going to die anyway.
Just a quick, Andrew, the Splatfests are like these, every, I don't know, every few months, every couple months, maybe? Or maybe every month, I think.
I think they're going to do it every month now because the population of people
just
playing
too many
now.
People, yeah. They got to do it more. But, they essentially, it's basically like a poll where it's like, okay, what do you, in the first 2 games, it was like, what do you like? Red? Do you like blue? Which is your favorite color? And you just pick which one from there.
It's sounding like a debate in the most academic way.
They did a Ninja Turtles one with Splatoon 2, where it's I think it was Leo versus Raph, and then Michelangelo versus Donatello, and then they went whoever won between those two. But yeah, you answer the question, and whatever thing you choose, you'll be on that team, and so you have to defend your choice against the other teams. And so now they added a third option. The first one was between rock, paper, and scissors. and this
Which
time
was
they're
the beta that I didn't get
Yeah.
to play.
yeah. So and now this new one's coming out. So it's just it's fun. It's a fun way to defend your beliefs, which is the way that things should be from here on out with regards to
The
politics.
world would be a much better place if.
Yeah. Going back to our pre-show conversation, this is how that things should be decided with the
agree.
Splatfest.
So to now they switched it, Andrew, where instead of going one team versus another team, now they have included 3. So I can literally do a tricolor Splatfest, and that's just so cool to Charles. That's just so cool to Charles, man. Like, I don't know what you're gonna give me. That's what's the best Aladdin's? That Nintendo, hear me out right now. Even though you cancel the Twitter accounts, your next one should be what's the best Aladdin's? Animated one, Return to Jafar, or Prince of Thieves? I think it is. There you go.
I mean, that show too. It was animated
I watched it.
It
was okay.
Yeah.
You would think Aladdin,
Yeah, they had one for each. They had like Aladdin one. They had a Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, they had a Timon and Pumbaa. That was.
I think they had a Pocahontas one. Maybe, I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't think they did. But
did you watch any of those, Andrew? Like the straight to VHS Disney sequels?
No.
They made a Mulan too.
Yeah. They made a Pocahontas one where she goes to like England.
Yeah, and they don't tell you that she died of cholera afterwards.
That's true. Yeah, she did die in England, married to not John Smith, but some other white guy. So yeah.
Some other white guy.
Some other white, yeah. Remember that scene where they go and say these white people are dangerous? Anywho,
Charles, I have some bad news for you.
What?
Did he? What? Judge? What's going on? The Yankees
No,
are playing.
I've not seen Pocahontas.
Really?
God damn it!
You lived in Orlando. I thought that was like an indoctrination, You lived in Celebration of all places.
I have not seen Pocahontas.
Well, to be fair, can I get one Disney dig and I'll go back to Splatoon and give it to you guys?
Yeah.
To be fair, Disney will support a lot of things, but they're never going to talk about a woman of color going against the establishment of white people. Done. All right. Okay. So Splatoon 3, play it. It's real fun. It's great. What am I lying?
Well, we'll wait. We'll see.
Mulan
We'll see what happens with the Pocahontas live action
Mulan
remake.
doesn't count. Because Mulan, even though the Huns are not,
No, Mulan was bad. Mulan was basically like let's just bow down to Winnie the Pooh out in China. That's what they were.
Well,
doing.
I'm talking about the animated movie, even though we love the animated movie. But
okay.
Anyway, we could do a whole debate onto this. But anywho, so Splatoon 3, a lot of fun, a lot more addicting. Gives me what I need. It's that sense of relief that I've been missing in life because I don't know how to normalize my deteriorating mental health. It's great. Go play it, kids. Young kids, find me. What am I, Papi Charlo? There we go. And you know what? Promo code, who's your Papi? Because we're on fire, baby.
Smoking. Oh, okay. Andrew, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Okay.
So, my non-sponsor this week, I actually had it in my mind for a second, and then I completely lost it. I guess FAU.
Okay.
I had something else in mind, but I forgot, so I'll go with FAU. As previously mentioned, Francisco and I went down there up there to cover the UCF FAU game, and they have a great press box. The SID crew, the SID, that's Sports Information Directors. That's the liaison between the sport, the athletic department, and the press. They're really nice. It's always I don't go up there a ton because again that's a hell of a drive, but the times that I have been there, it's always a lot of fun going there, and it's I can't say much more. It's FIU or FAU, a lot of fun. Their stadium's really nice. If you ever decide to go to a game, that's not a bad place to go. At least for down here. So yeah, FAU. I mean, the only downside against FAU is they are rivals with FIU, so by default I have to hate them. But the people, at least in the athletic department, are very nice. So FAU promo code. Apparently, red velvet is chocolate.
Yes, you didn't know that.
That's something that someone told me there. They give you free food when you cover games.
We had cake. Really awesome. We had cake.
So they had nothing bunt cake.
Yes,
was the company there.
Mm-hmm. I like to play words.
And I did not know that red velvet is actually chocolate. I did not know.
Wow. Yeah, it's
chocolate. Yeah. Did you think it was red? Ha!
I didn't know what it was. I
had to give myself that one.
There is blue velvet, by the way. There is a blue velvet.
I never really. It's not that I didn't think that it was something. It's just I just never thought about it. Mm. It's just like it's red velvet.
Yeah, you just thought, or you just thought like, oh, it's just some sort of food coloring of some sort.
Right. I was just like, it's red velvet.
Yeah.
It's not something that I put a lot of thought into.
It's something that when you think about it and then you taste it again, you're just like, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can taste it.
So not only is that a statement, that is also my promo code.
Okay. Alrighty. That's good. I don't mind that. Okay, boys. I guess I'll do mine next, and it's a show that I binged completely, that I just absolutely fell in love with. It's the Orville.
I love that show.
Never saw it.
So much.
Yeah, I saw it on Hulu. So my Hulu account. It's the Orville. It's made by Seth MacFarlane. It's a show. It had 3 seasons. It just got a new season on Hulu. So it was initially on Fox. Fox got bought up by Disney. I think the show had 2 seasons. It debuted in 2017. Had 2 seasons. I guess didn't have the ratings. It's much like any Seth MacFarlane show. Didn't have the ratings that people thought it would have. I think they marketed it bad, to be honest. Because when I first saw like commercials and stuff for it, I'm just like, oh, is this like Seth MacFarlane trying to do Family Guy with like Star Trek? It made it seem like it was that. Like it'd just be some funny, weird thing with like cutaways and all that type of stuff. But it's not that. It's honestly Seth MacFarlane's take on Star Trek. That's honestly what it is. So it's his writing and his influence on it, and you can tell it's made with a lot of love. Because honestly, I think he makes like the stuff he makes that's not Family Guy are things that he does better. Aside from the Cleveland show, that was a shit show. But
and he even admitted that he wished he could have ended Family Guy after season 7. So
yeah.
right now he's just doing it because Fox is basically.
It's basically another Simpsons for Fox or Disney, whatever you want to call it. But but he likes his other projects. American Dad's actually really good.
American Dad's fantastic. Yeah. But how much of that is him? I don't think he has as much of creative control.
He still does voices, and he still does Roger and Stan. So yeah, but I think he lets them do what they want to do with American Dad, and it's different. It's on TBS, so they can kind of do something different with it.
It's also on Hulu. Watch it on Hulu.
Yeah, it's also on Hulu. I gotta watch the new season that came out. But anyways, the Orville. Really good show. I'm so glad it got another season, because after like the second season, it was just like there were some things that were way too up in the air. And when you watch the third season, it still has like the season finale still has like, some loose ends. They're just like, oh, what could happen here? But for the most part, it's wrapped up to the point where it's like, if that was the end of the show, you'd be satisfied with, okay, I got something, some sort of conclusion to the storyline. But it's really good. I honestly,
have they officially announced if there's going to be a 4th season?
I have no idea. I mean, this just came out. I think this came out this summer. The newest.
I know.
Season.
I already finished it.
Yeah, it just came out. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to wait for some actual like ratings or downloads or however they measure it with that. But the characters are cool. You got Seth MacFarlane, who plays the captain on the show. Then you got Adriana Polinsky, who's his commanding officer. And then a bunch of other these characters. There's like a robot character or a cyborg or android character, whatever you call them. He's got like an alien character. And each episode has a theme. Like, you can tell this is Seth MacFarlane because his political beliefs and ideological beliefs are seeped into it. But, so there's like an episode about trans and about, homosexuality and misogyny and religion and a bunch of other stuff political stuff that you can clearly tell is the theme by it, but a lot of it's on the nose, yes, but some of them is a little more subtle. But at the same time, I actually care about the characters, which is, I think, the great part of this. This could have just been a parody of Star Trek, but it's honestly something that does stand on its own. So I commend him for that. And I don't watch Star Trek. I'm sure Andrew has a better assessment of it because he's actually a Star Trek fan. But from, like, if this was a version of Star Trek, I'd be like, oh, man, this is kind of cool. It kind of makes me want to be like, should I get into Star Trek? I don't know. But it's, it's different. But I like it. So, let me
just say,
yeah,
that there are a lot of people, Star Trek fans, who think this is better than some canon Star Trek shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the hindsight of years of Star Trek to not only base things on, but maybe improve. The CG in this show is fantastic, by the way. Like, whatever his studio does with animations, it's like just the space stuff. And he did Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson a few years ago, which had fantastic CG and animation. So his background in animation definitely helps with this show because it doesn't look low budget at all. Like, whatever budget they have on this show, it's really high, and I'm sure it's Disney or Fox giving them like the benefit of the doubt with a high enough budget to make it look legit. So, gosh, man, I'm trying to figure out a promo code. Andrew, I don't know if you can help me out with this. Not sure.
I would say Orville.
I can't even think of anything like funny on the show. Not even sure.
Not Family Guy?
No, not really, because there's no real influence of that at all in this show.
No, I'm saying hashtag not Family Guy.
Yeah, actually, works. Not Family Guy, not Star Trek. There you go. It's not yeah. All right. So that's it. We're at 1 hour and 33 minutes, so we're going on a bit long here. So let's get to it. Andrew, do you want to anything of note this past week 3 of college football?
We had a few more upsets. This has been a very upset-heavy season thus far, which is fantastic. That's always fun. Let me just go down the list and see what... let me see here. Well, Florida State eked out another win, this time against Orville.
Mark Norvell.
It's working. Whatever's working is working.
Nebraska, as I previously mentioned, Scott Frost got fired. Now their defensive coordinator, Eric Chinander, got fired. Chinander was the defensive coordinator at UCF, so Frost brought him in when he became the coach at UCF, and then he took Chinander with him to Nebraska. Now he's gone.
Let me look at the scores from last week. UTSA held on for as long as they could, which was sad. I know.
I have the list of
USF freaking screwed it up.
Yeah, I had some severe.
I'll tell you one thing I did like about covering the FAU game. I like the banter amongst the various people around. There's a lot of banter, that's I guess not as much as I was in the Panthers press box, but And the Panthers press box is like 2 times the size of the one at FAU.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, compared to FIU's press box, it's massive. Although then compared to the press box at Hard Rock Stadium, it is not that big.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the banter is great. The banter is always really fun. Let's see. Yeah, Oklahoma beat the shit out of Nebraska.
Yeah. Kentucky beat Youngstown State, so they're still undefeated. Georgia destroyed South Carolina. Oh, that was my other goon, was South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was because
the anti-You Go Girl.
Yeah, they were the anti-You Go Girl, but supposedly they were celebrating. This is a stupid way that they did this, but it's South Carolina, so it doesn't surprise me. They were honoring 50 years of freaking Title IX. There we go. Title IX. So they brought.
Great start, Francisco. Great start.
You go, girls. Title IX, where they brought in pretty much most of their female athletes onto the field to honor them. Like, hey, give a clap and all that type of stuff. And so the weird thing is they did it between quarters, between the first and second quarter, which isn't that long of a break, to be honest. It's just like a, somewhat longish like commercial break. Maybe. Yeah, like an extended commercial break on TV. And so they trotted them out on the field, or not even on the field, right? They were just in the end zone. They were on one end zone. They're like, hey, here's some ladies, guys. Clap. Okay, please clap, like Jeb Bush. And so, but there were a ton of them. There was probably 100 of them. And so they were, okay, well, we stopped clapping at you. Now get off the field. And that's basically what they did. Like, get out of here, ladies. Basically, South Carolina was like, get back in the kitchen. That's basically what South Carolina did. And because their head coach, I don't know what this head coach, what his name is.
Shane Beamer.
Yeah, all right, Shane Beamer. Sounds like a douche name.
He's the son of Virginia Tech's former head coach, Frank.
Okay.
So
still a douche-sounding name. That's got school bully written all over it. Anyways, coach's son. Oof, not good. Not good at all. He was screaming at the ladies to get off the field. Get off the field, because I think, they were on 4th and 7 or something? And they're afraid Georgia would. By the way, it's Georgia. You're not going to win. You're not winning. It doesn't matter how long Georgia has to read your whatever formation that you've got. It's not going to work because it was 48-7. That was the score. I don't know when they got their 7, but it didn't matter. So, just the whole thing was just bad. They should have done it at halftime. I know that the band plays, but it's a South Carolina band. I've never heard about them, which means they're probably not of any value. So they could have trotted out the ladies during halftime when that would have had the sufficient amount of time for them to get on the field. They could have had the band playing something for them. I have no idea, but it was bad. That's South Carolina. Okay, and they got trounced by Georgia, rightfully so. All right, Andrew, sorry about that, but that was the other goon, and it was college football based. There you go.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Trying to see what else. Were there any really big up?
Penn State beat Auburn. Michigan destroyed UConn. Oregon beat BYU. 2 ranked teams there. Ole Miss.
Oh, and this. So we don't do Fulmer Cup anymore, but I do have another segment I can bring up now.
Favre's felons.
It is. What is it? Excuse me.
Better know a minor league team.
No, it's college football bill.
Oh, that's right. That's the thing that you're telling me about.
Right, and
isn't it Washington?
Charles, I think he might like this. What? So back a few years ago, probably like 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago, these guys, they were Nebraska fans. They said, we think that the 1970-something Nebraska Cornhuskers were the best team of all time. So they were like, I wonder if we could trace lineage back to that team. So kind of like a title belt. So what they did was they started with who was the current. They were like, okay, so Nebraska lost to these people, who lost to these people, who lost to these people, and so on and so on. And it turned out that, yes, they could trace the lineage all the way back to the current team. So then they decided, and then there was enough clamoring. They're like, all right, let's see if we can trace this all the way back to the first game. And sure enough, there is a way to connect all the way back to the first game between Rutgers and Princeton in 1869. So what this is in essence, it's a mythical title belt in essence, that you can trace back. So Rutgers beat Princeton. So the belt was created then. But then Princeton beat Rutgers, so then Princeton had it, who then lost to them. So now the current holder is Oregon, who took it from BYU, who took it from Baylor, who took it from Ole Miss last season. So anyway, it's very fascinating. I've become kind of like the keeper of the belt in a way. Because I, with help from one of my fellow moderators who's a whiz with computer coding, he was able to track every single, we call them belt games. Because every time the belt holder plays, the belt is on defense.
Have you guys ever figured out who's held it the longest?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. And if you give me a second, I can pull it up.
And I'll rattle off some of the other schools. Let's see. Alabama destroyed L.A. Monroe, Louisiana Monroe. Wake Forest beat Liberty by 1 point, 36-37. Apparently, teams are trolling Liberty University by holding their Pride Nights against them. Yeah, which is funny.
So if you guys don't know, or I assume you do, Liberty is very.
We've talked about them before. Yes.
Yeah.
Ohio State destroyed Toledo. The Volunteers, maybe they're back. They're undefeated so far. They destroyed Akron. NC State beat Texas Tech. OK State beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. Arkansas did not get beaten by NFCS school, so it was close. USF.
Okay, so I figured it out. I have it. So the longest team to hold, or the longest defense, was Yale.
Okay.
Back in
like the 1800s.
There it is. It was the 11th. It was the 10th transfer. So the 11th, I call it reign. Because like reign 1 was Rutgers, then reign 2 was Princeton. So this was reign 11. They held it for 36 games, from November 27th, 1890 until November 30th, 1893. They won it initially against Princeton, and then they lost it to Princeton 3 years later. The longest in modern history, I guess you could call it, was the Miami Hurricanes from October 7th, 2000 to January 4th, 2003.
That's basically when the U died.
So they won it from Florida State. So that was their regular season matchup. They held it through, and I make notations of what bowl games they played. So they played Florida in the Sugar Bowl, beat them.
Well, basically, they had it until they lost to Ohio State, infamously.
Correct. That was the loss. Was the infamous national championship game, Fiesta Bowl.
They lost, by the way, to Texas A&M this past week.
Yeah, and they have actually held the belt one time since then. For a few weeks, they defended it 4 times, from October 21st, 2017 to November 24th, 2017, and they have not held it since.
Let's see. Pittsburgh beat Western Michigan. Washington beat Michigan State. Clemson beat Louisiana Tech. Utah beat San Diego State. And finally, USC beat Fresno State. So those are basically the top 25 games there. And yeah. And so next week, any games of note, Andrew, next week?
Let me check the schedule. I know that UCF plays Georgia Tech at home. FIU they had a bye week this past week. So now they'll be playing New Mexico. No. WKU, Western Kentucky. They're heading out to Bowling, Kentucky for that one. And FAU is playing Purdue in West Lafayette. So that's steep hill to climb for them there. Other notable games. Give me a second. I'll just go through Yeah, that'll be fun. That's always a good rivalry. It'll be interesting to see if they can actually give Florida a run for its money. I think
actually back.
Well,
Tennessee's one of those the notable dead schools, along with Nebraska and UM.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say that the SEC's version of the U.
Yeah, essentially.
So here are the top 25 teams. Number 1, Georgia's playing Kent State. Number 4, Michigan, Maryland. Number 5, Clemson. Number 1, Wake Forest. Number 14, Penn State against Central Michigan. 17, Baylor against Iowa State. 24, Pittsburgh against Rhode Island. As you mentioned, 11, Tennessee. 20, Florida. 22, Texas against Texas Tech. Possibly the last time they play each other. Because there's a chance that Oklahoma and Texas will try to leave for the SEC next season without having to pay $1 zillion. Miami, number 25, Miami against Middle Tennessee. Belt holder Oregon is heading up to Pullman, Washington to face Washington State. Kentucky, Northern Illinois. Arkansas, Texas A&M. That'll be interesting. Alabama, Vanderbilt. Good Lord. Any other notable ones? Not, at least with the top 25. This is a pretty kind of blah week. Although Arizona State is no longer firm for Herm. Herm Edwards has been fired.
Oh, damn. I forgot he was out there.
He also had those allegations.
Yeah, no longer firm for Herm.
Okay.
Such a disappointment, I know.
Okay. Well, all right. So that's college football. Charles, shall we? NFL. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do a little trash talking.
Okay, so I feel like some of the petty things, the petty train that we can't get on it this week.
I can get on it completely.
Well, Charles can get on it because he always has an argument that backs his convictions, for sure.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'll just start with the Dolphins. Much like Rita Repulsa, they foiled my plans. They foiled my plans. I thought they were down and out, and they were confirming everything I believed about them, which I'm not a believer still. I feel like it was more
about Baltimore than anything else.
Yes, it was more the Ravens losing than the Dolphins winning. It truly was. Whatever was going on with the Ravens defense, they just let their foot off the gas, and they never got back on it until it was too late. And by that point, they were only able to muster up one more touchdown, or not even a touchdown. It was a field goal, and then Tua in garbage time was able to throw 6 touchdowns. So there you go. Honestly, so I mean, yeah, you could say, okay, the resilience of the Dolphins and things like that. Some of the play calls, it looked like Tua actually made a good pass, and I just love the Discord on Twitter because people are still. There's a lot of non-believers out there still with Tua, and then you got the people who believe in Tua who are a little too into Tua, I think, in my honest opinion, to really say anything at this point. The Dolphins haven't been humbled by a real team, but they're about to face a real team. The team that Charles is, I guess, I don't know where his allegiances lie because the Titans got destroyed.
Football's over for me, bro. So quick comment on Tua. Why are we... And, I still... Listen, I'm hear it now. I know people have their feelings. I'm not here to attack it. I'm just saying this. Y'all giving Tua the love. No one's going to give love to Tyreek.
Well, that's...
No, he's an asshole.
Well,
he doesn't deserve love.
Well,
I mean, Cleveland Browns just gave,
I love
$200 million more to another kind of asshole.
I love...
People are, if you got Cleveland fans, you tell me Miami fans have morality? What?
I love Barry McCockner's whenever he does. He always has these little jabs during his
famed women respecter or something.
That one of them is famed women respecter, and the other one was for Tyreek. It was child rights advocate or something like that.
Jesus.
For Tyreek. So there you go. Anyways. So yeah. So the Bills destroyed Titans. Mike Vrabel's over.
Bills destroyed All right. Well, I'm gonna get on this. I'm gonna say it now, because I was commenting it heavy, and everybody was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I did not go in expecting to win this match. So that's the first thing I would tell you. Here's the bigger issue of concern. This love fest, jack fest in 1973 football of hard-nosed defense and bland running offense does not work. I didn't like it last year. I don't like it this year at all. And the person who's going to suffer the most out of this is our beloved Derrick Henry, who only got 23 yards on 12 carries, because everybody knows you're going to stack the box. I did like certain things I saw with Trey Burks, but it's unimaginative. And I'm not asking you to be the Cliff Kingsbury of offenses and be like the Cardinals or the Chiefs. What I'm asking you is not even to evolve. I'm asking you to be modern, because this is what happens. And mind you, special team miscues alone. This is what happens when you have a team like Buffalo who figured out what they wanted to do that was best for their quarterback. I know what people are saying, well, Ryan Tannehill is what Ryan Tannehill is. This team is not built on Ryan Tannehill. This team is built on Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry alone. And I'm not saying that you should maximize your quarterback over your running back. What I'm saying is you should maximize an offense where it's down by only 10 points. Doesn't have me change the channel saying this game's over. I told you guys that when it was 17-7. You know your team if you actually follow through and you don't make it just about playing Madden, and you know the players at hand. Austin Hooper, Robert Woods, Traylon Burks, Akeem Hines Westbrook. I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, guy. All these people, and they're not going to be your
Miami Dolphins, where you're going to have Tua and Waddle and Gesicki. But you're really just saying, maybe we'll go deep. Maybe we'll do cross routes. What are we going to do? No, if we could play hard defense and control the clock, we're going to win the game. And it's not that. You want to know how you win games of football, boys? I'm going to explain to you in the most fundamental way. This is what $180K in debt taught you in law school, the highest of education. You win football games by scoring a point more than your opponent. It doesn't need to be 30. I can't do math. 34 points like it was last night. You just need to score a single point more. And this antiquated love fest, stroke fest was purposely only implemented once we had Vrabel with Henry. It wasn't like that with Mike Mularkey. Now, mind you, you could not sell me on Mike Mularkey as a head coach. I think I joined the show right when I was asking for his dismissal.
His last name kind of doesn't
Yeah,
help.
it's Mularkey. And we had Mariota kind of doing some stuff, but you have to kind of demand, something more to kind of innovate. That's why Andy Reid teams are always, they might not win every single year, but I have never had an Andy Reid team that settled for things that were 3 decades in the past. That's why he's had winning seasons. Not that he evolves, he keeps modern. 2 different mindsets. And he builds his offense. That's problem number 1. Problem number 2, we spent all this money on certain position players, and they deserve it. Derrick Henry deserves his money. Shit, he can get 600 yards, and he's still going to be better this whole season. He's still going to be better than 10 of the other backs. The guy was injured last year and came in 9th in rushing. Let that speak to you. He's just not going to have it if everybody just knows the offense run. But we did not invest money on corners, and that was the problem. Christian Fulton was out, 2nd-round pick, I think, last year. 2nd-year guy in, he's hurt. We leave it to Roger McCreary, who got destroyed by Stephon Diggs, and it always went to Diggs. It was always going to go to Diggs. Where did we have the salary cap to go for James Bradbury? Questions you must ask yourself. Because James Bradbury went over to where? Philly, I think, and maybe they have some maneuverability money, but could we have brought him? Because we sold him, could we have said, hey, we have more to this? So this is the problem. An old stroke fest to football that was boring back in the day anyway. I'm saying that right now. 1970s nonsense. And not investing the funds where positions matter. Now, I am not saying you pay the Jalen Ramsey contract to every person, but you don't have a guy on that defense who can even be Jalen Ramsey. Caleb Farley, our 1st-round pick last year, we don't know what he had because he had back issues and he had a knee issue and he was out for the season. But you can at least bring in seasoned guys. And when we actually hit that peak where we went to the AFC Championships, because we have some good, well-paid vets. So I'm just over this team. And I am not over the players. And people were doing the Ryan Tannehill slander. I'm like, oof. Yeah, he threw 2 picks, but he's not the one who plays defense. And he got burned as a corner where there was 3 touchdowns sent to Stephon Diggs, and he had 14 catches for 140 yards. I wish I was making up the numbers, but it was kind of like that, 10 receptions and all that. So who's that really on? I'm sick of this whole thing. Mike Vrabel, you're a bro. You're the handsomest coach in the NFL. And I'm at that point where I don't want you to be my coach because the problem is we're still in the competitive race of the AFC South. Thankfully, it's trash, but instead of just being modern, not evolving, instead of being modern, we couldn't do that. And we had to be stuck in our ways, stuck in our ways. I just like a good hot dog with ketchup and mustard. Lord knows I'm not going to put Dijon on there or candied fucking, bacon like I saw earlier today. I'm a person that'll eat anything of change. I don't want peanut butter cups on my hamburger. I'm going to have that peanut butter cup in my hamburger. Very upset with football. Very upset. It's not even because we're playing bad. I was around when we were 2-14 back-to-back. 2-14 one year, 3-13 other. The problem is that because you're stuck in these ways, you're going to get there, man. I'm hurt. I'm so hurt.
Yeah.
And the fact that I live in a world where Aaron Boone and Mike Vrabel are probably going to be still my coaches. The year that Charles came at there's always an equivalent exchange, right?
Monkey's
paw.
Yeah.
Monkey's paw, jinx, just like what we said the other day when we. So funny note, Andrew. We were playing Splatoon last night, and we just decimated the competition, and we sent each other the same GIF at the same time without knowing we were doing it. It was kismet.
That was great.
But the monkey's paw is both these guys are going to be my coaches the next season. Is it going to be Spo next? How dare he?
All right, so we're at 2 hours, so rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah, rapid fire. One
okay,
word
rapid
sentences.
fire. Yeah, one sentences. Chiefs Chargers.
Oof, good game.
Yeah, good game. Good game. Chiefs eked it out though. Patriots and Steelers.
Yeah.
The New York Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Giants win
How do
1960.
you lose to Jimmy Vollmer of football?
Hmm.
Daniel Jones looks like Jimmy Vollmer to me.
Yeah, well, the Giants. Well, there's 2-0, but the Panthers are a bad team. We already talked about Browns and Jets. Jaguars 24-0.
Good for them.
Yeah, damn man, Matt Ryan. That's not a good look.
It's just one sentence. Y'all were trying to tell me that was supposed to be the Titan Killer.
Bucks and Saints, 20-10. Bucks.
Snooze fest.
Yeah. The Detroit Lions. They got a win over the Washington Commanders.
My new team.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan Campbell, man. Oh, you gotta love him. I don't know if you guys saw what he said. He was because the Vikings and
I sent that to you.
Yeah,
I sent that to you. That's why I said he's my new team.
Yeah. Man was just he passed out drunk last night, scouting the game. The Niners 27-7. Trey Lance is gone. Jimmy G's back.
Changes my predictions. Remember, I said that was going to be the Super Bowl team because I believed in Jimmy G to get them to Super Bowl team because that is probably the most comprehensive roster, and now you get the guy who's probably better suited to lead that team than Trey.
The Rams beat the Falcons 31-27. The Falcons almost made a 28-3 comeback, but they didn't. So the Cardinals, oh god,
Frauds.
the Raiders.
Both of them are frauds. So
The Raiders are always a fraud team. They just think that they're not frauds, but they.
I feel bad for Derek Carr to be like, I think I have new.
He's going to be one of those guys, just like Matt Ryan, that's going to leave that team way too late in his career.
Dude, it's the Phillip Rivers effect.
Yeah, he should
bastardized by bad coaches.
He should leave. He should go someplace else, but he's gonna stick it out as long as possible. Oh, it's Vegas, all this other stuff, and he's gonna be on that team way too long. By the time he leaves, it's gonna be too late. He's gonna be a has-been. The Broncos actually won, so Russell Wilson got his first over the Texans.
Overrated.
The Cowboys over 27-17 over the Bengals. Our boy Burrow hasn't put it together yet.
Ice cold.
The Packers, Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears.
Y'all want to hype up 1-1.
But it's the Bears, so it's basically a default win for him. And then the Eagles and the Vikings last night. So,
oof.
The Eagles are looking good.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen
Hurts.
I didn't think Hurts played bad last season. He's got receivers. He's got your receiver now. So
no.
He's got AJ Brown now, so it's working.
It just hurt. His stats. He's just so good. I'll look up his stats and cry in a corner for a second.
Alrighty, so that's week 3 or week 2 of NFL. Oh, we're done. We're done with that. 2 hours 3 minutes. Baseball's happening. Baseball happened, and
Judge has not hit the homer yet.
He has not hit the home run, nor has Pujols. So there you go. Okay, so Cage, shall we? Hey folks, Francisco here from Sports Goofs. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcasts right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcasts on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to The Cage with Charles. Full disclaimer, the show crashes. That's why it's Sports Goofs. Goofs, not toofs or deefs or doofs or doofuses. We're just Sports Goofs. I'm Charles, host of The Cage, sure. I guess that's my new intro for those who haven't listened to. But wrestling, what do we know about it? It's a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes, since we're quoting Aladdin. That's right, Andrew. I remember what I said. Not the same flow, but a certain degree of what we were talking about. I told him, Francisco, not to have me forget. But, as you know, wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It's a stage fight. It's a song and dance. Men and women try to beat the holy hell out of each other, get championships, establish legacies, get emotional, get up in it with their emotions, like a soap opera sometimes. And to abridge it for our time being, because I know we're all kind of hungry,
couple of updates. It'll be a very short cage because last week I felt like I congested 30-something minutes into a very, Picasso-esque kind of explanation of feelings and emotions. Here I could be more input. So WWE, Extreme Rules coming up. One match that's confirmed. There's other matches, but we have time. One match that we'll confirm about is the Fight Pit. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. Why does this match matter? Well, the Fight Pit was something that came out of NXT's origins. Who oversaw NXT when it was being created? Triple H. Who is he now? Papa H. Does that make the Twitter people cringe? Yes. Do I care? Absolutely not. We send you the SpongeBob meme of me just worshiping it. Fight Pit's pretty cool. It's like hybrid MMA wrestling, which makes no sense because wrestling is an MMA. But, think of it WWE style with MMA. Let us see how it comes into. The feud's good enough to introduce it. Let's have fun with it. Bigger news. So y'all know about the Big Four pay-per-view. Essentially Big Five when you include Money in the Bank. You have Royal Rumble. You have WrestleMania, you have SummerSlam, you have Survivor Series. Well, Survivor Series the last few months or few years has been ass. I have not watched like the last two. I'm not interested in it. This brand supremacy concept, I kind of like it, and then I kind of hate it when you just build the seeds to it, like 3 weeks in advance or 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. And then now you have not one but several titles that are now merged to a degree with the Universal and WWE Championship and then the Tag Team Championship. So brand supremacy itself kind of makes no sense. Well, Triple H, he'd be hearing me. He'd be hearing me a little bit. We're special connections. He was very influential to me when I was young. Not only did I do the suck it sign, from DX, but he also taught me that, you hang around with the right people, you advance in life. That's how he made it. He's a wrestling brain, and we love him. He's also cool with the Heartbreak Kid and all this stuff. He's bringing War Games, and I have talked about on the show before. It's basically, and to give you a very abridged thing, steel cage, join people.
I've got an image of it on the screen.
Yeah, and I have no need to explain the rules at the moment. I've done it in the past. Blood and Guts is the other thing that AEW does, which is very similar. It was an innovation of Dusty Rhodes back in NWA, WCW days, and Dusty was very influential in WCW, and not just WCW, and NXT. So he's bringing it to Survivor Series, and what I kind of like about what H does, he says, listen, I'm going to tell you where this novel is going to lead us, but it's not going to be spoilers and what's going on in wrestling. He basically said there's going to be one men's war game match and one women's war game match, and it's going to be more story influence than brand supremacy. And I'm kind of about it if the story is right. You obviously know for the men's going to be the Bloodline, which is all the Samoans, essentially, of Roman and the Usos and Solo Sikoa. I would love it if Sami Zayn's there. Shout out to Sami Zayn. I know this doesn't get out there, but him and Seth Rollins have really just been holding this organization on their backs of entertainment. I'm enjoying so much. I feel bad for you guys, but if you have not, enjoyed Sammy at this point, there's something wrong with you. He's just so funny. He's an honorary Uso. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I love him so much. He's just great. He was the one who put out the Johnny Knoxville match at WrestleMania, and now for the last several months, he's been trying to be part of the Samoan dynasty of the Bloodline. He's wearing their shirt. He's repping them. He's like, apparently on NXT tonight, Solo Sikoa, who won the NXT North American Championship last week when we were on the show, now vacated it. So he's like, don't worry, my dog, we're going to get it back and stuff like that, or you can have bigger, better things. I'm like, I love you, Sammy. You can be my hype man any day of the week. So War Games will be interesting. I have concerns about how they're going to do the women's War Game match because either it has to be both brands. I think you should infuse both brands if it's the first women's War Game match. I would think you miss an opportunity to show talent on both brands if you just kept it on who's feuding in Raw. So it might be Damage Control versus Team Bianca, and I'm not really for that. You gotta get a little bit of infusion. We'll see where it takes it. Mind you, this is like 2.5 months ahead of time because they're going to do it on the weekend of Thanksgiving. So that's just going to be, man. So you're telling me I got Thanksgiving. So, and I'm shouting out to my sister right now, Rebecca, if you're hearing me, if I don't have mashed potatoes, I'm not coming to Thanksgiving right now. Straight up. All right. None of that stuff. But you got 2.5 months notice, girl. But if you don't have, I'm going to have all my food, my fixins and stuff. And then I'm going to have my Black Friday shop. And you guys know I treat that religiously, going from there. And then I'm going to have wrestling the next day with leftover turkey, get that tryptophan in me. Ooh, child, we'll be good. So that's exciting for that. So I'll leave it to WWE for the moment. We'll give more storyline updates as time progresses. Then we look at AEW. So AEW tomorrow, you know how they have like their typical big shout outs and stuff like that, or they have their big pay-per-view style TV episodes of Dynamite and Rampage. Well, tomorrow's Grand Slam. It is an all championship match rundown. Some big important implications. We're not going to talk about the CM Punk. I sent you guys a picture of Kenny Omega's bite mark. Did you guys see that? The Twitter posting that I sent you.
I think so.
A Steel bit him. Holy crap! Like, what is a grown man biting another man on the arm for? That's the stupidest thing where you can punch somebody. Because if you're right there, I'm gonna pop you right there, man. I don't understand it. Bite his neck. Don't be afraid, pansy. I don't know. I don't know Ace Steel. I know his backstory, stuff like that. I like Kenny Omega. That's where we're going. How are you gonna bite a grown man? I understand that in a real fight you go grit and grind. This is a locker room fight backstage.
Reminds me of Austin Powers. Who throws a shoe?
Yeah, well, seriously, like I'm just thinking about it. Like the whole concept of me, if I fought, was to not get hit as often. So I feel like if I try to put my chompers on you, I'm leaving myself way open. You gotta bite them from behind. You gotta go like Nosferatu on a guy. Maybe that's what I'll do. Instead of doing these CLEs on what I do, I'll teach you how to bite people. I don't know. Mike Tyson can be like my guest spokesperson. We're going off the rails. Grand Slam tomorrow, Dynamite. Watch it on TBS, not TNT. Always confuses me. You have and I hate this, the AEW Interim Women's World Championship. That's right, interim titles. Can't stand it. Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, Athena, Britt Baker. Toni Storm redeems it. Orange Cassidy versus Pac for the All-Atlantic Championship. AEW has 13 active titles, guys. Ridiculous. Pac should win that. Ring of Honor World Championship, because remember, Tony Khan owns the organization, so he has those titles defending. Claudio Castagnoli versus Chris Jericho. Claudio used to be the former Cesaro. Claudio wins that. Jericho's whole thing is like, I've held titles throughout the world. I want this main title. I don't know how you can say you have a main title. It's not even on TV, and they're not doing house shows. I'll let you guys decide that. That's like saying, oh, we're the current XFL champions, but the XFL is not in existence yet. Explain that to me. And I understand. Jericho, you can call me a stupid idiot. I get it. It's okay. I understand. AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Swerve and Glory, Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee defending their tag titles against the Acclaimed. We love the Acclaimed. I send you guys the raps too many times. It's just ridiculous how great rated R raps can be when they're insulting people. I still love how they make both Bryan and Punk break character. Acclaimed wins that for sure, no doubt. And then we finally have, because I feel like every time we're on the show, I can never tell you guys, hey, the declarative AEW World Championship is this person. Because remember, Punk got injured, interim championships. Punk comes back, unify the belts. He's champion. Then he gets suspended for dogfighting, the bites and everything like that, punching people out for All Out. So, now they created basically not a contendership match, but a tournament to crown a new champion. So it's going to be Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Finally, maybe we'll have, guys, a real AEW World Champion. These guys are in the same stable of Blackpool Combat Club. Call it BPCC. Don't call it, BBCC or BCC. You're going to get some weird stuff when you search on your Twitter and your pre-fillings. Danielson 100% wins that. You put a lot of gold on there. I like the storyline he has with Chris Jericho right now of who is the true stepdaddy of Daniel Garcia, who just won the Pure title off of Ring of Honor Pure title off of Wheeler Yuta last week. But it's just nice to say, hey, I can declaratively tell you guys what's going on with the World Championship belt. It's just good for me because the last 3 months have been, since before we went on break, there was fuckery. You see, that's why we had this take care of fuckery, guys, because you can't say far fuckery in something like this, right?
Funny enough, it's at Arthur Ashe Stadium, which is close to where the Jets and Favre did have his fuckery.
Well, wrestling's connected to everything, as I tell you guys all the time. So Danielson, let him have his gold. That's fine. Give him a whole slew of wrestlers to kind of go against. He can defend the title. MJF will eventually get that belt, and we go a day, and we go from there. So that is it. I gave you guys a very brief thing. I have one more thing to say. We'll embarrass him, Andrew. We have a swerve for him. Happy birthday, Francisco.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so
I'm
we
going to be middle-aged. I'm officially going to be middle-aged, so.
Yeah, he's going to be, I'm technically middle-aged at 33, so okay. But allow me to tell you who you share your birthdays with, because I was researching this a little bit. And I think there's some, I don't know if we've done it before or not, but, it's stuff that always go into it. It's tomorrow, correct? So we go from there. So you first off share it with Jason Derulo. So that's fantastic. So I just need to
say
go,
my name all the time. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you share it with Stephen King.
Okay, all right.
So that's
spooky.
pretty cool. The Dark Tower, I don't hate it. To a degree, you share it with Lindsey Sterling, who, if you listen to weird music, she has a little violence. You share it with Alfonso Ribeiro.
Oh,
So
okay, Carlton.
You have Carlton. You share it with Faith Hill. So, there's a lot of music we go into. There's a big one.
There's an actual song that has my birthday on it, so.
Yeah, you share it with Wale, and we like Wale over here when it comes to rapping. I just want to make sure I'm not missing the cool one that I saw. Oh, you share it with Luke Wilson. Respect to him. You
okay,
like Luke Wilson.
all right.
And then you share it with Bill Murray.
I think we've said this
Yeah,
before.
we talked about it.
Yeah.
I think because it was like one of my things, because I know I had a birthday on an actual show and I skipped out. And I think that not this year, but last year probably. And we had mentioned Sean Connery stuff. So, and then Liam Gallagher of Oasis going from there. So there you go. So that's my shout out to you, buddy.
Yay. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm old. I'm old. I'm going home tomorrow to celebrate. I'll have things packed by today, and then me and my dad are leaving at 3:30 on Thursday to Denver. We're going to see the Rockies on Friday, so I'll have my report next episode about that and how the Rockies are and how awesome their ushers are, because they take out Zack Hample from games. So that's nice. My if John the usher is there, I'm going to try and snap a pic. I don't know if I'll be brave enough to be like, can I just take a photo with you? Well, who knows? Yeah. So thanks, guys. And that's it for the show. So bye, everybody.
Good night.
Take care.